My name is Agnieszka Skwirut. I know that my name is a little bit difficult, but everyone calls me Aga. And I'm a 3D artist based in Barcelona, but I'm originally from Poland. And yeah, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my story and how what can you learn from it and take it to your own. Basically, how can it influence your own professional journey? And also, I would like to talk a little bit about what should you maybe focus on while starting your journey as a 3D artist, and also what things apart from your technical skills maybe you should think about learning to get better start and be better artist, better professional, and just find yourself more I don't know, like just be more confident about your skills overall. So I started my professional journey back in 2018. I was still studying architecture, and I just wanted to get better at showcasing my own projects. I was pretty ambitious, so I wanted to be the best and learn to be the best, but it wasn't so easy like it is right now. The market wasn't so full of courses and everything. So I just found a basic course of 7 weeks and just started learning. And in the meantime, I did my internship here in Barcelona. First time that I actually left Poland, and it was this idea, first time raising in my head to actually move and leave my country and just look for other opportunities personally and professionally. And yeah, it wasn't very easy because I wasn't very rich or anything like that. But here in Barcelona, there were a lot more opportunities for being working as an architect, but also as a 3D artist. So I started to consider how could I manage to pull it off. And in 2020, more or less, I came back to Barcelona to finish my studies as an architect, and I started to also do some networking in ArchViz industry. And I, at some point, decided to take a gap year and look for a job here as a 3D artist, because I kind of decided to take the direction of being 3D artist more than architect, and because I felt like this is something that is more suited for me, and I kind of felt more confident in it than as an architect, and yeah, it was kind of more creative. So I started to look for a job, and I actually got a job, and I was super happy. I was living my dream life, and that COVID hit. And it wasn't so beautiful anymore because I didn't get the job finally, and I was in a lockdown here without any money, and it was pretty sad. Actually, it was a little bit of a dark time in my life, but I kind of focused on managing my anxiety and getting better with my portfolio and my skills, and I started to do a lot of contests and just getting better at my craft. I was doing a lot of personal projects, a lot of images, and just focusing on working instead of thinking on where the world is going. And after some months, after a year more or less, I had to go back to Poland in the meantime and kind of reorganize my life, think about what I have to do, because I stopped my studies basically to look for a job. But yeah, that they called me from one of the offices in the meantime, and I got hired in a graph visual studio. So I came back to Barcelona and I started to work here as a 3D artist. And yeah, I'm here till now, and I kind of appreciate to join a studio from the start, because I could learn a lot in less time that I could do it at home alone, because working in a team has a totally different different dynamics than working alone, and you get feedback in the real time. You can talk with people that think similar than you about your work and get like constructive criticism. You can work in teams, so you learn like a lot of skills that you wouldn't learn at home. And for me, it was also very good because I didn't have after COVID a lot of friends here. Everyone went back to their country, so for me it was like gaining a second family here in Barcelona, and I kind of grow as a person also because of that. So if I have any recommendation for anyone that is starting out and thinking about working at home or working as a 3ds artist, I would recommend you to think about it a lot because I'm working in a studio, at least at first years of your professional career. I think that it's very good to be around people that can give you first feedback, second can teach you things. For me, it worked very well, and I really appreciate that, apart from having a really good friends out of it. So apart from working at Graph, I'm also working as a creative director of my personal brand in Talanaga, and there I focus more on product rendering and creating 3D spaces. So I design in 3D, and I create realistic backgrounds, realistic spaces for product presentation. So it's like a little bit different direction, but it's my passion project. I really wanted to get back to my roots as an architect because I really like design. It's just that I don't really appreciate the tedious process of architecture that is right now, that you have to spend really a lot of time in constructing things. In 3D is a lot easier, and I really like to design things, design spaces. So in Talanaga, I focus on that. I create 3D spaces so I don't focus exactly on render. I provide a service of designing a space that is adequate for product of my clients, and just focus on the greatest presentation that the products can have. And so over the last 2 years, I created a lot of projects. Some of them were more personal. So I was constructing a portfolio of catalog of spaces that I provide. And also I started to do this professionally for the client's products, but it started 2 years ago, and I already have like a lot of images that I have made during this time. But I'm still working with Graph. That it's the studio that I started to work almost 5 years ago, and I'm a lead artist there still. And in Graph, we focus more on architectural contests. So we work with clients on contests that they prepare. Also, we do like a big scale projects, residential projects, urbanists sometimes, and stadiums, a lot of stadiums lately. And it's a totally different scale, and we do a lot of teamwork because this scale of projects, they need a lot more effort. So we have to work closely together, and we prepare at we have a different workflow working on projects like this. At first, we create concepts for clients of sketches, as we call it. We prepare them like the proposals of cameras, and then we develop the images that the client chooses. We have like a lot of scopes, as you can see here. There are some images that I made from schools to stadiums, and there are like sometimes some of the clients want a little bit different styles, but what we want to focus on always is the most realistic approach and the best explication of any project. So that's our approach. We want to help our clients to be to explain their projects in the best way and to have like the best visuals for marketing purposes. And yeah, I wanted to tell you that your journey, it's totally up to you, and you have to think that it's all your work. You're constructing your portfolio right now, and maybe you're already working somewhere, or you're thinking about working somewhere, but think that it's not only about constructing a portfolio. You have to have like a lot of things in mind while you're thinking about your professional journey, and you have to prioritize the goal. If you want to work in like a studio that does some kind of project, maybe your portfolio should be focused more on this kind of project, and so on. So you just you like there's no general script or journey that you should follow. You have to think about what you want and focus on the goal. In the first like I prepared some concepts that I would like to talk about, and just to show you a little bit of how the real journey of 3D artist looks like. Some of the concepts are more optimistic, and some of them are a little bit more pessimistic, because I think that you should get to know the real journey and the real work, how it looks from the inside. And the first concept that came to my mind is that the idealization of what being an artist is and what the real work is. Because we all think about ourselves as artists, and we want to create art and beautiful imagery, and it's totally valid, and we should do that, and we should think like that always. But we also should think about it as providing a service to our clients. And the reality of it is that sometimes we prepare a beautiful set of images for the client, beautiful proposals, and we have amazing ideas, but later the client takes us to the ground, and we have to redo it in the way that the client wants, or even from the start we don't even get to prepare a beautiful set of imagery for the client. We just do what the client wants us to do, because finally we have to get paid. So not every project will be a project that we will showcase in our portfolio. Some projects are there just to get us afloat. So that's the reality of it. And the sooner we accept that, and the sooner we will actually get better at it, because we just have to be able to evaluate the projects from the start. There are some projects that will have a lot of potential from the start, and we can give them a lot more energy, and then later there will be another project that the client is setting the expectations from the start to be it this way, and we should just get this way and always try to provide the best service for the client and do it in the best way possible, but the way that the client wants, probably. So this is one of the examples that I wanted to show you about this concept, because this is the stadium that I did some months ago, and I prepared like a lot of sketches for the client. I prepared like a lot of concepts that I was very happy about, the composition, but the format and stuff like that. And then the client wanted to show totally different angles, different ratios, different moods. Sometimes this is one of the images that anyway get at least the same mood that the original one, because the mood is almost the same, but still you can see that my sketch that is on the left, it's like, at least in my point of view, it's a lot better. And I was kind of struggling to finish the image and the way the client wanted, because it's kind of the compositional aspect of it. It's not that winning image, but still, I mean, the client wanted that, so we had to provide that, and we had to do it because the presentation is of the client, not ours. So we can always stay in our portfolio with the image that we created before, but for the final delivery of the client, we have to prepare what the client wants. But also there are positive scenarios of that we present the sketches and with ideas of moods and compositions, and the clients loved it, because the idea was so good that they loved it. So we get to finish the image, and it's not even that much work, because the original image is already so good. Then it's just about refining some details, rendering in better quality, and getting it finished. And it's our approach to this is to prepare the proposal for the client already in so elaborated way that the client falls in love with it. And half of the times it's gonna work, because the images are very good from the start. We try to do it like really well, but still sometimes it's gonna be that the client just wants something else, and we have to follow that. Okay, so this is the topic that I think is also important these days. It wasn't so important back when I was starting, but the marketing. real reason of doing the 3D imagery, basically, it's to having the marketing. And the images have a marketing purpose for our clients because they normally want to or win the contest or just sell the project to some other clients of theirs. So yeah, that the other thing about the providing a service, it's also connected to that the images have some purpose and the client has some idea of how their marketing should look like, and we are providing them with the visual solutions for that. So we always have to have in mind that it's not only about creating a good imagery, it's about selling a product, which is selling a design. And if our client has some kind of vision for that, it's probably because of their reasons. So the more frustrated you get about not getting the visual effect that you like, it's sometimes we have to just we have to channel our energy in getting very good visual for our clients because they have reasons for wanting what they want sometimes. And another thing is that we also do images for marketing reasons. That's why we want to finish them in the best way possible, because we have some kind of style that we want to follow, and we want to show it to also in our social multi-channels, and we want to keep our style consistent, which is also good for our marketing. So marketing is a skill that we have to have in mind always. Because right now it's not so easy like back then to have clients. The clients normally doesn't come to us alone. Sometimes we have to just go out there and look for clients. So having marketing reasons in mind while constructing your portfolio is also very important. And one thing here that is, I think, relevant is that sometimes the visual quality of images that we deliver to our clients is not consistent with the style or the quality that we like to show in our portfolio. And a tip for that from our side, it's my side, and from my studio style, it's side, is that you can publish things that are more consistent with your style. Don't publish just random things that you deliver, because sometimes it's not going to be on the quality of the clients that you want to have in the future. And showing the best quality in your social media, it's kind of the key thing to doing good work and having better clients in the future. So focus on that. Like you, in your publications, focus on delivering the quality of the visuals that you want to have in the future. But if the clients want some different things, you also give them the product that they want. Here, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your identity and the narrative that you construct around yourself. Because finally, you as an artist, even if you work in a studio, you are your own person, and you are having your own style normally. You are unique. You have your talents, your strengths, and I think it's important today that to kind of cherish that and learn and show the world the things that you're good at, publish your work, and don't be afraid of being unique. Don't be afraid of being different, because this is probably what can make you successful today. It's very like there's a lot of saturation in the market today. So being unique and being different is making someone probably see you between a lot of people that are the same, because there are not many unique styles or unique things that people are doing these days. So if you feel like you're better at something or you can think differently, don't be afraid of showing it and explaining it to the world, like creating your like kind of personal brand, whatever. This is something that not many people talk about, but I think it's important for you not only to find a job, but also to keep constructing your career, to grow your networking. people will go through scrolling through your work today if you are not different, if you're not focusing on something that will differentiate you from other people. So don't be afraid of following that and looking for that in your work. Here are one of the first images that I created as an artist. I created the one on the right is the first image that I made in my course, and I was very proud of it. It got old, and now I don't think that it's that good, but I was very proud of it. And the second one, it's one that I did on the lockdown that was influenced by the Red Balloon short movie. And all those are like personal images that I was looking to. I mean, I did them because I wanted to learn some specific skills, and I think that you should learn a lot when you're first starting. I think that it's not, like, you always have to learn in this journey. It's not that it ever stops, because it doesn't, but you have to have strong basis to be able to learn some other things. So you have to build a strong base, and just if you don't feel like it's strong enough, focus on that first to be able to later get better at like finishing your style, like defining your style, being more focused on some specific thing. All those things you find kind of later. First, you have to just get to know the craft. So this is very important, because to be good in matte painting or like technical 3D skills modeling, or creating very realistic scenes, or doing very good aerial views, whatever, you have to first just know how to do a good image in general. So first, just get very good at having a basis, and later you will learn the rest. And yeah, the practice. The sad thing about all this is that sometimes it takes a lot of repetition, or not even sometimes. It always takes a lot of repetition. It's not that you can learn some things in 1 week or 2 weeks. It takes a lot of time, and you have to be prepared to invest a lot of time to get really good at something, because it's not about having a talent. The people that can do consistently one thing day after day after day after day will get better than people that has a lot of talent, because repetition will, and ambition, and just this kind of motivation, or this discipline, more better said, it's the key to getting better, good at something. Sometimes you don't see progress over over some time, but later, after this, like, again, after you can see progress after, like, sometimes long time. So for a lot of days you will keep practicing, and you will maybe not see much effect, but there will be one day that you will do something, and having the base on, I don't know, some modeling skills and matte painting and stuff will take you to do an exceptional image. And that will be the day that you will kind of get confident about your craft. But sometimes you will not see a lot of progress, because you will have to keep practicing modeling, practicing whatever, and it's going to be just boring. But the boring things are the key of getting to do exceptional things in the future. So don't be don't be afraid, and don't be sad about this. This is kind of how the progress is being made, and hard work always pays off. So that's the reality of any journey, and here it's even more present than ever, because this is really a very tangible thing to get to do. Like, you have to do a good image, but the journey from doing a bad image to doing a good image, sometimes it's just a lot of repetition. So yeah, I was telling you that during COVID times, I was doing a lot of contests, and that's actually a thing that helped me a lot with getting my skills better, but also getting my networking better, and just constructing a good portfolio. And I think that this is a thing that anyone could do, because there's I don't know exactly how many challenges or contests are right now, but those two I remember, and I know that they are going on from time to time. So even the on the rookies, we organize a lot of contests and challenges from time to time. So I think this is the key to taking you out there and helping you to create more personal projects, because sometimes you might not have any idea about the direction that you want to go, or even what could you learn. But if you have a topic, sometimes you just, it motivates you enough to create an idea and learn some new software or a new direction. I think this is super helpful. And after some time, you actually get to realize how much progress you made after. And it's super fun, when you can just see the works of others, how other people think. In the two challenges, the fun part was that we got feedback sometimes in the real time during YouTube videos. So, I mean, for me, it was very difficult to start because, as I told you, I had a lot of anxiety during COVID. And also another thing was that there were almost any women participating, and I didn't have a lot of experience. So for me, it was very hard to just get out from my bubble. But it was very helpful, because once I did, and by the way, my first image got shattered basically. Um, once I did it, it was very helpful to just help me build my confidence, and just even only participating gave me a lot of confidence. I won once. It wasn't my first challenge; it was like 10th, But as a artist with 2 years experience back then, it was very it was super successful for me. I felt like I win, whatever. It was very happy moment for me, because it was like a personal practice. So that's what I was a little bit trying to explain you with the repetition. Sometimes you don't get to win even anything, but once you feel confident with your work, and you feel like you did something very nice and you're proud of your work, that's also a win. Okay, so I think that a very important thing in our job is to have people that can give our support and feedback, and it can teach us things. That's why I told you that I feel very happy about joining a studio, because I was, and I still am, around people and that give me feedback, and that can participate with my, sometimes direction and way of thinking. I think starting out, especially, it's very helpful, because there are some ideas that you have to mature, and sometimes don't have enough confidence to propose it to the client. But if you have people that you can talk about them, it's helpful to just start trying, because sometimes we just keep some ideas to ourselves because we are not confident enough, and having people that kind of support us and motivate us to just try things out is helpful enough. I also think that having a mentor or people that you can learn from, even by observing them, helps you to mentalize and accept some kind of processes that sometimes we don't at first want to do, or we don't even have any idea how to start learning it. For example, for me, it was very helpful to see how a studio works, how there's like a sales process done, or how we keep contact with clients. This kind of stuff you can learn on your own, but it's sometimes it's very helpful to see how other person does it. So I think, having people around that you can get influenced by in a good way, it's very important. And just asking for advice, even if you don't not working in a studio right now, asking out people that you admire in the industry, just writing to them privately, I don't think that there will be a lot of people that will not respond or will not tell you anything. This is very important to actually see any progress going in the future. Yeah, so about the feedback, the image in the right, it's the image that I told you that gets shattered in the first day 2 challenge. And I was very proud of this image, and I still am. I really like this image. But this was the first image that I submitted to the day 2 challenge. And actually, it was the one that had a really good jury, and there was Pedro Fernandez, and he gave me a lot of criticism about it because there's no clear focus, and it doesn't have a very clear storytelling, and it's true. But still, I like this image. Okay. But you can see how a person that with different expertise and a lot more experience that I've had back then can think about an image, because he was right. The reading of this image, it's very hard. You have to really focus on some details to get the story and to understand a little bit what's going on. It's not a very clear storytelling, and it's good a general image, but it's not a good image that has to captivate the attention from the very first second, like you would suppose that the contest image could do, right? So there are so many approaches and ways of seeing things that you will not think about while doing something, but someone can tell you if you ask them for advice. And a lot of times the client will make a lot of comments on your images. Sometimes it's going to be valid comments, sometimes it's going to be comments that sucks, and you know that they were not gonna go well, but still it's feedback, and it's a part of our work that we have to accept, because if not, we will not get anywhere. Like we have to choose our battles, you know. There are some things that they are worth to go over with clients and maybe fight a little bit for the quality of the images, but there are things that are just better for the vision of our clients, or better for a general use of the image or general composition. And if someone gets you this feedback, it's good to have this skill of being able to accept the feedback and not taking it personal, you know. At first it's very difficult for me. It wasn't at first very easy sometimes to get the criticism in a good way. But once I learned that, it went a lot easier, and now I can see a lot of good in that. Sometimes when I'm very sure of some ideas, I fight over them. And don't take it in a wrong way. You have to know when you're right and know when you're wrong. And sometimes it's just we are wrong, and people that can see our image from a perspective, they are right, because we work so much on something that we already not see what's going on. So yeah, just work on that skill, and your life is gonna get a lot easier. Yeah. So creativity. This is a big topic in our work, because we are doing a creative work, and I think that sometimes we just get stuck because we are overloaded. You know, we are tired, we don't get any creative ideas and creative solution to problems. So we have to focus a little bit more about feeding our creativity and taking care of it. And actually you can do a lot of things to make it better. Even, you know, sometimes doing the simple things like going on a walk and creating something new, something totally different that you were working on right now, like just taking a break and creating a totally new image, different style. Reading a book that it's totally not connected to what you were doing before, just taking a mental shift, you know, in some other direction. Cooking something totally different. I mean, whatever, something that it's different, that your routine things that you're doing, it's having a power of reshifting your brain. So think about it as an exercise in looking for random words in your head, it's actually a official creative exercise that you could do. So just do a little bit of research about that. And if you feel stuck, take a break and do something different, because this actually helps you to restore your creativity levels. And actually being bored takes you to a better place than being overloaded with work. So if you feel like you need creative breakdown, just take a break, because boredom is better for you than working too much. And sometimes it's hard, I know, because I work a lot. So you just have to be conscious about it. And this is like a very nice creative test that I found out about it like not long ago. This is a test that says that you have to connect all the dots with not more than 4 lines, if I'm not wrong, or three lines. 3 lines. And it's very difficult for adults like us. I mean, you try to take it right now and see if you can connect all the dots without taking out the pen with 3 lines. And the solution for that, it's actually pretty simple, but it's saying a lot about how we think, and growing up, how our thinking is changing. Because there are some research and there is evidence that children doesn't have any problem with this test. So it's us adults that we just get shrinked in some boxes of thinking, and we don't go out of there. And I think that for creativity, it's actually very obvious that we should looking for solutions that are totally not connected sometimes with the problems that we are working on. And maybe taking us a few steps back sometimes take us to the right solution. And to show you some of the solutions for this problem, is like, as you can see, is taking out of the box. Because if you think about solving this creative problem without the box, you could see that you can draw lines that are going from out of the box, are larger and connecting all the lines. Or just if it was a piece of paper, connecting the sides of paper and drawing a line around it, it's going to be even less than 3 lines. It's going to be 1 line, But you wouldn't think about it when you see 3 dots in a box. Most of us, I didn't, at least. When I had to see this solved to get conscious about how I am stuck with my own thinking as well. So, it's sometimes it's super easy, but we are just very stuck in some tunnel vision about things, and taking a few steps back will take us to the solutions that we didn't even think about before. And to show you how children could solve this problem a lot easier, it's that even for a child, it wouldn't be so obvious that you have to have one thickness of line. This is also 1 line, right? And all the dots are connected. So as easy as it might sound, for me, it would be impossible at first to find this kind of solution. Okay. About I said to you before that learning is a very important part of our craft, and I put here a few books that I think that could be very inspiring to you. They were very inspiring for me, at least. I think that obviously after you learn all the bases about our craft, there are also a lot of directions that you can go and to get more inspired and start thinking a little bit differently. Those 4 books are very different, one from another. The first, the Great Talk About Photorealism, and they have a lot of information from very good 3D artists from around the world about photorealism. I know that it's not so popular anymore to get photorealistic images. I'm very keen about this, but I know that there are a lot of people that just want to go in another direction. But still, I think this is one of the directions that are very cool, and it's very photographic. Here in this book, you have a lot of tips on how to reach some of the highest and best images in this area of expertise. If you're interested in this direction, I think that this book is very cool. And the three other books are not really connected exactly to our craft, but in another way, they are very connected. The first, the creatividad esa, it's creativity from Ed Catmull. Ed Catmull is one of the guys that created the Pixar. And he's talking a lot in this book about how they constructed their studio and how they have to solve some creative problems inside of the studio, so they get to another level, basically. And I think it's very influential and very interesting in a way that sometimes we think that we only create images, but it's not exactly true. We have to solve a lot of creative problems for our clients. We have to find ways to best showcase their projects. We have to think creatively, and there are a lot of ways to train that. So reading, for me, it's one of those ways to learn it, and just reading how the people that had constructed already businesses that did that in the past can influence a lot of our ways of thinking and how we can help our clients to give them the best outputs we can. So I think that this is a very nice book to get this kind of insights. Then another book, I didn't realize before that they are Spanish titles. The Piensa como un fotógrafo de calle says basically think like a street photographer. And this is from Matt Stewart, that it's a photographer that takes photos with a vintage camera, analog camera. And he, in this book, shows some of his works and how coincidental they are sometimes, and how you have to be present in the moment to see some kind of events on the street, and how I think that can influence our work. It's about not doing very routinely a lot of things, because we have a lot of processes that we repeat over and over again because it's faster and it's easier, and it's totally valid to do it like that. But to get creativity better, and to get better images, and to actually have a different outputs as we would like to have, we want to have different kind of projects. It's also good to just disconnect and be think differently. So sometimes we have to get coincidental, and this book, it's very interesting in this way. So it gets you to think about how we could change our workflow, our process to get different outputs. And yeah, it's sometimes just getting out of the street and start taking photography and be present in the moment. Even look at the sky. You can get inspired. You can get something interesting from out there to get your work influenced by it. And I think this is very important for us. It's not only being with the computer and following some kind of references. It's sometimes about going out of the world and just see the world as it is, with its imperfections and everything that's going on. And the same thing, it's about the last book, the Tokyo. It's very specific style of photography, very like sometimes cyberpunk. But if you're interested in this kind of style of images, it's a super nice reference. And for learning and following this kind of style, it's also very good. Sometimes you need like a mental shift. So seeing like just a very different kind of images helps you to restore your thinking and creativity levels. I think that's very good to just surround yourself with books and photography, and this kind of having this kind of approach of trying new things. Here, I wanted to recommend you also a course that it's very good for creativity and just learning the color schemes and how composition works. It's from Anthony Eftekari, that it's a concept artist that worked with Star Wars and another movies as well, probably. And he created this kind of, I think it's called but I don't remember. But it's something about composition that it goes through some parts that starts with just recreating photos with a few colors that are more solid, and you just start painting, and that's how you learn how the colors operate together, how to create depth with different tones of colors, how to actually control the contrast and the tone of the color. It's very, very interesting because we all want to learn matte painting and be a very good artist, but actually it doesn't start with um, cutting out the photos. It starts a lot before that. It starts about understanding how the color operates and how the contrast work in the real life, in the real photography. And I think in this course you can actually see it how it works, and he explains it very well. I think that learning, you have to find a really good source for learning. This is actually a great source for matte painting, but it happens in all the categories. That there are a lot of people that want to teach you stuff these days, and you have to find a really good person to teach you the best way. Doing a lot of research in this area, it's very important, so you don't just buy courses to buy courses and to learn like things that are not really relevant. Just go deep and find the really good people that can influence your work in a in the long run. And then my kind of favorite part of learning these days, it's podcasts. I think that even if we're 3D artists, it's also very important to take care of our mindset and our way of thinking. And just for me, it's very influential to hear people that are a lot smarter than me and talking about problems that I also have in my life, like like some kind of psychological issues or relationship problems. How to manage and balance work and life, how to create your business. These are the topics that at some point in your life will hit home, and just hearing people talking about them sometimes helps you to be more grounded. And I think that podcasts help with that a lot. Those three are one of my favorites, and I recommend you to find your own, maybe something that hits home a little bit more for you. For me, those are really good, and I spend like a lot of hours during a week listening podcasts. I think it's very good for everything. So just find something that it's more of your own, but that will keep you more grounded and more present, and more conscious about that everyone has a problem. We all have our journey, and we sometimes get a lot egoistic maybe about that our problems are more important than some other people's problem, and this is not true. That all the people has problems, and all people have to deal with them, and they do, and the way they do is also very, very cool to see, because sometimes it's just helpful, to solve your own problem. So I mean, you don't have to go to psychotherapy to get your problem solved. You can just be inspired by others. Okay, so now I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I found as my strength, which is designing in 3D. I always was keen about interior design, interior rendering. Even if I do big scale projects, it's not my go-to type of project. I don't enjoy that much working on stadiums that I enjoy working on product design or interior design. And it's because of my hobbies. It's more because of my way of thinking, not because there are better kind of projects than the others. It's just what my interests are. And I just want you to think about what are your strengths and what are the areas that you could be better than other people, because at some point of your career you will have to focus on your strengths and just um, construct your career probably on top of your best areas, because if you want to be exceptional in something you probably have to repeat it a lot, and if you can do it with a thing that you actually love and you are passionate about, then it's a lot better for you because you're going to be a lot more happy with yourself. So if there's a part of the craft or just the area that is more enjoyable for you and you think that you could be the best in it, then you should probably focus on it and you're going to be a whole lot happier. And then almost the last part, it's the grit. Um, if I mean, this is a very important thing because being ambitious about something, it's means that you're gonna have a perseverance to follow the path. If you're a little bit lousy and you struggle to follow your goal, you're less likely to actually have get to the goal. You need to have a lot of focus, and this is a kind of a key skill to any industry, not only ours, but these days when the AI is taking over a little bit, I think that we have to have a lot of grit and perseverance and learn a lot of different skills to get get ourselves seen, to have clients in the future, to get job, um, to have anything. And you have to have a lot of continuous effort over a long period of time. So I mean, taking care of your grit, it's what will take you further. So don't be afraid of it, and just whenever you feel like not doing it, think about the further goal. And you have to be consistent to get better as an artist, to later have better job and to get successful in the future. And anytime that you feel like you're not motivated or you feel like you're not going anywhere, just try to surround yourself with a lot of affirmations. It might sound a little bit cheesy, might sound a little bit stupid, but it, I don't think that we will get anywhere if we don't have any support. And even like reading some kind of motivational quotes by coincidence over a period of time, when you start to see some kind of effects already, it will change a little bit your kind of mindset, and you are supposed to tell yourself that you're going to get there, and you will have to tell yourself that you're going to get there in the times that you're not getting anywhere. So having yourself surrounded with the things that will help you, it's helpful. And it might sound a little bit weird at first, but you will gonna need this kind of support. And if it's I mean, everyone has some kind of struggles during the way, so even if it's not some kind of affirmation, but it's just reading about some other people's stories, hearing podcasts when you can see stories and hear stories of people that had struggles and kind of solve them, will get you going, because you will get conscious about solving your own problems, because if they could, you can also. And to get this finish a little bit, I want to motivate you a little bit to um, to join our category, because you can win internship, 1 month ArchViz internship in Graph, that also you could work a little bit with me during this period of time. And we have this category to get you a little bit motivated to start your career path. And we're going to be revising all the entries. So if you want to collaborate with Graph and start your journey with us, then we're going to be very proud, and I want you to sign up for it. And if you want to talk a little bit more with me, then let's connect and follow me and Graph in our social media channels. And if you just need some kind of support or a little bit of private mentoring, then I'm totally open for it, and I'm there for you. And anytime, if you need something, we're gonna be there, and I just want to hear from you.